Here for a mini workshop on a healing yoga practice during the transition from late summer to autumn. This transition, called in Sanskrit a ritu sandhi, is a powerful place for us to take a moment to reflect on our own needs, our own goals, and our own commitment, dedication, and devotion to whatever yoga practice we have. In healing yoga practice, there are several components. The ones that we'll be working with today are the seasonal component, that there are postures, breaths, and attention practices, aka meditation, that are perfect for helping us to transition from the heat of late summer into autumn. And that doing this with intention and regularity can actually help us feel better, more whole, and to feel like who and what we want to feel like. We will be practicing energetic hatha, yin hatha, and restorative hatha practices in a live practice soon. And then after a shavasana, because it's not yoga without shavasana, we will have a short practice of 3 pranayama or breath practices that are appropriate for this transition. And then a short meditation or attention practice. After that, I'll lead you in a mini home yoga practice workshop so that you can take the techniques that spoke to you from this practice that maybe you're working with right now from your favorite teacher's practice and weave them together in a solidly structured personal yoga practice. Personal yoga practice is foundational to a healing yoga practice. It is the moon to the sun of your yoga classes. It is necessary. It is vital. And it's actually where the things that you do learn and practice in your led practices, aka classes, can really become magical. Is a personal yoga practice sometimes clumsy? Absolutely. So I suggest starting with the simplest version of a practice that you're taking home and talking with your teacher about it. You can do that on this channel with me or whatever teacher you go to see in your city. If all of that sounds very big, it is, and don't worry about it right now. I'm going to lead us in about a 40-minute led yoga practice. And what that means is I'll be instructing you through postures, breath techniques, and meditation. Posture, breath, and meditation are all yoga. And they arise from and with one another. I hope you'll feel that some in our practice today. Necessary caution. Not every posture, not every breath practice, and not every meditation is for everybody. It's not one size fits all, as it turns out. So, you are your guru. You are your best teacher. Something I say to do feels like, I don't really feel like doing that today. Or, oh, that doesn't sound like something I feel like doing or want to do. Fine. Sit it out. Catch us on the next technique. A technique is a pose, breath, or attention practice. Let's see. Everything's optional. Everything's optional is true on and off the mat, and we're practicing on the mat for how we want to move through the world off the mat. So again, choose, be discerning, and try to practice at 50%. Believe it or not, this is the instruction in the original texts from Ayurveda about how to practice hatha yoga. Practice at 50%. What this does is it allows us to not out yoga our breath. One of the big rules of any yoga practice, don't out yoga your breath. It allows us to allow meditative consciousness to arise, and it prevents a lot of injuries. It's surprisingly hard to find 50%. 50% is not slack. It's also not pushing. It's not 50% allows us to stay connected enough that our face is relaxed. It's one way to kind of check in. Okay, some props that you'll want for this practice today. 2 blocks. Let's see, those aren't. 2 blocks. Yes. A strap. A bolster if you have one. If you don't have a bolster, grab a couch cushion, a chair cushion, a big fluffy pillow, something like that. And try to grab 2 blankets if you have them. We're going to be practicing, again, an energetic practice first, because that tends to get us into our body. We're then going to be moving into some yin postures, held for the minimum amount of time for yin, 90 seconds to 2 minutes. And then just 2 restorative postures, again, for a very minimal time. Today is about demonstrating the practices that can help you move with grace and increasing health, creating virtuous cycles in your biology, in your mentality, in your breath, and in your heart as we move into this autumn season. I'm so glad you're here. I'm going to make an adjustment in the camera. You may want to look away for a moment. There we go. There are going to be a few adjustments in the camera at different times so that we can move from practice into the workshop with grace. Okay. Whether you're practicing later or live, we're in the same breath. Breathing in, know you're breathing in. Breathing out, feel yourself breathing out. For the next 3 breaths, feel your rib cage expand as you inhale and fall back to center as you exhale. Feel your footprints on the ground. Feel the palms of your hands touching one another. And on an inhale, open your arms to a big T. Exhale, turn the palms down, and as if you're moving through a substance that resists you, bring your hands down by your sides. Inhale. Gather up. Exhale. Bend your knees and fold forward. In your forward fold, turn your head side to side. Bend one knee while moving the other leg towards straight and vice versa. On an exhale, bend both knees. Lift the back of your head and bring your hands to your heart. Exhaling, hinge up. Feel your glutes. Bring your torso up. Inhale, lengthen up toward the sky. And then exhale, imagine you're able to grab some of the sun's light, the moon's light, and draw it down through the top of your head and into your heart. Inhale, upward facing hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half. And then exhale, hands down, right foot back, top of a lunge. Shift forward and back a few times. Remember, your body's language is sensation. Your response is movement. When you're ready, lower the back knee, point the toe back, wave up, Anjayanasana, cactus arms. Press into the top of that back foot. Lift your rib cage evenly out of your pelvis. Surrender the shoulders to gravity. Inhale and open your arms. Exhale and start your own revolution. Inhale, lift through the head. Exhale, turn a little bit more. Notice that you may be feeling this twist in the outer ribs. Inhale and exhale, perhaps a little more. On an inhale, look forward. Unwind, plant your hands, and step back. On an exhale, lift the tail and lower down. Chest, chin, and knees. On an inhale, pull your heart forward until you're laying on your belly. You're already in a back bend. Try pressing the tops of your feet and ankles into the ground. If you'd like, lift your hands, elbows in the back of your head. Keep your nose pointed toward the ground for now, lifting the back of your head to the ceiling, flying cobra. On an exhale, lower down, shift back. Any combo of child's pose or down dog. If you're starting in child's pose, which I often do for the first sun salutation of a practice, feel the fold of your legs under your body. Feel how deeper breathing with your legs restricting how far your body can expand forward actually becomes a massage for your low back. When you're ready, come up to tabletop, or if you'd like, or maybe you already are, down dog. Inhale, lift the right heel to the sky. Exhale, step the right foot forward any amount. Step the left foot forward up to meet it. Forward fold. Walk your hands back to where your feet got to. We're going to roll up this time. I'm going to invite you to bring your forearms to your shins. Feel your weight in your whole footprint, including the heels. On an exhale, lift, elevator, drawstring. Zip up the gut side of the spine, stacking finally your ribs over your pelvis. Inhale, gather the light. Exhale, draw it down through the crown of your head, down the central channel in front of your spine, down through your heart, your body, your legs. Send some into the earth. Inhale, upward facing hands. If you didn't step all the way forward, travel back to the top of the mat. Exhale, dive forward, forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, left foot back, top of a lunge. Shift forward and back. Lower the back knee, point the toes back. Wave up, pressing into the top of that back foot. Evenly lifting the ribs, let the shoulders soften, even as you reach through the fingers. Exhale. Cactus arms. If it feels good, look up past your eyebrows. Inhale now, look forward, open the arms, and exhale into your revolution. I apologize. Trouble with the microphone. I got a new mic. They were both fully charged, but sometimes stuff happens. I have a new set of mics on order. I'm glad you're still here. Or maybe you just joined. I'm not sure how long ago we lost Mike. Thank you both. All right. I think, can you hear me now? Okay. The sound isn't as good this way. I'm going to try to speak up. Thank you. And thank you for being here. I'm going to speak up. And we're going to continue with this practice. We just finished a couple of slow sun salutations. This is how we've been doing sun salutations through late summer. We're now going to move through a few sun salutations a little more rapidly, and we're going to put in some standing postures. We're still not going to go super fast, but this is the sun salutation that we'll be moving toward for autumn. Join me again at the top of your mat. Inhale, upward facing hands. And exhale, forward fold. Belly on the thighs, head hangs. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, hands down. Right leg back, lower the back heel. Wave up, lift elevator drawstring zipper. And then bring your hands to up. So anytime I say lift your arms, you could use cactus, Y, H, or A arms. Yogi's choice. Whatever feels good for you allows you to feel strong, grounded, and allows your shoulders to relax. Inhale, open your arms. On an exhale, bring your hands in. And then bring your right hand to the ground. Lift your right heel. Lift the right knee as well. On an inhale, reach your tail away from your head and vice versa. Exhale, rotate your ribs. Inhale, lengthen again. Exhale, lift the left ribs to the sky. If it feels good, extend your top arm up. On an inhale, look down, plant your hands, and step back. Shift forward and back a little bit. What I want you to feel here are the bandhas. Feel your core sort of rippling, top to bottom. And then shift forward, lower the knees. This time we're going to hinge forward from the elbows. Lower hip to heart. Roll your shoulder blades onto your back. Press into the tops of the feet. And inhale. Wave up to cobra. Looking up past your brows. On an exhale. any combo of child's pose to down dog. Press the elbows toward one another. On an exhale, turn your knees to the right. Twisted dog. Inhale back to center and lift the right heel to the sky. Exhale. Right foot leads. Left foot follows. Forward fold. Inhale, thumbs to the heart, sit down. Press into the heels. Hinge up. Gather the light. And exhale, draw it into your heart. Inhale, upward facing hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, left leg back, top of a lunge. Ground to the back heel. Wave up, cactus, Y, H, or A, yogi's choice. On an inhale, open your arms, lift the back heel, left hand to the ground. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, turn. Inhale, look down, plant your hands and step back. Lower the knees anytime. Exhale, shift forward from the elbows. Lower down, come forward, maybe pressing into the tops of your feet so much your knees lift. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left heel to the sky. Exhale, left foot forward, right foot follows. Forward fold. Sit back, look forward. This time, reach your arms forward. Look down, make sure you can see your toes past your knees. Maybe sit a little lower, maybe bring your arms further up. Yogi's choice. Dog alert. On an exhale, back to mountain. Inhale, upward facing hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, left foot back. Drop the back heel. Reach the left arm forward, up, and back. Warrior two. Now, you can see that right now, you might be able to see, my feet are offset, and that's okay. Some of you may want to bring your legs onto more of a balance beam sort of alignment here. Whatever makes you feel balanced and strong. Let your arms float up. Reach out through your fingers. Press down through the outside of your back foot. Virabhadrasana 2. Second hero friend pose. Inhale, lift the front arm. Expand this front side body. On an exhale now, we're gonna move to side angle pose. Turn your hips first. Your pelvis is what turns. Ground the elbow. Grip the elbow back toward the hip, isometrically dragging the elbow back. Inhale, top arm to the ceiling or by the ear. Inhale, look down, plant your hands, step back. Exhaling, shift forward and lower down. Inhale into any cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward or child's pose. Any 5-breath pose. Inhale, lift your left heel to the sky. If it feels good, bend the knee and stack the hips. Exhale, left foot leads forward, right foot follows. Forward fold. Inhale, sit back, reach forward. Fierce pose, Utkatasana. Any variation. Inhale, upward facing hands. And exhale, mountain. Inhale, up hands. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, left foot back, top of a lunge. Drop the back heel. Wave up, warrior 2. Virabhadrasana 2. Vira, hero. Hadra, friend. Virabhadrasana. We translate it as warrior. You're befriending the hero within. Inhale. Triumphant warrior. Feel the extension. Exhale. Allow the front hip bone to come down, the back hip bone to come up. Isometrically grip that elbow, firing up the core on the left side. Inhale, extend the arm up or by the ear. Parshvottanasana, side angle pose. Inhale, look down. Plant your hands, step back. Exhale, shift forward and lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right heel to the sky, bend the knee and stack the hips. Exhale, right foot leads forward, left foot follows, forward fold. Inhale, sit back and lift up, arms in any position. Explore what feels right to you. Exhale, mountain. Step a little bit wide, bend the knees, empty coat arms. Okay, this is gonna go a little bit longer, mainly because I fussed around with mics and whatnot. Next thing that we're going to do is gonna take us into this bridge into autumn. I'm gonna invite you to step wide. You can face the long edge of your mat if you want. We're moving into a wide squat. Squats are one of the signature poses of autumn. Toes turn out, knees track over the toes, meaning if your toes are forward and your knees are collapsing, bring them out. If your toes are really far out but your knees are pointed further in, align them. Sit back. Drop your weight back. Open your arms to cactus, goddess pose. Press into your footprints, especially into the outer edge. Now inhale, straighten the legs and straighten the arms. This is star pose, Tarasana. We're gonna move from Tarasana to a version of goddess pose, temple pose, with a forceful exhale. This breath is called Bhastrika. You want to feel your core assisting your exhale. You can stay at this pace if you would like, or speed up as much or as little as you'd like. Now, stay down, plant your hands over your knees. Straighten your arms, and for a moment, let your shoulders come up a little bit. Feel how your pelvis is like a swing on a swing set. Allow this to just feel good if it feels good. If you need to come out, lift, elevator, drawstring, zipper, and when you're ready, come up like a turtle out of its shell. Exhale, bend one elbow and look back over it. Inhale, center. Exhale, side B. Inhale, center. Continue with the rhythm of your breath. Inhaling to center now. Bring your arms up. Temple pose, goddess pose. Inhale, straighten the legs. And then exhale. Let's go ahead and hop the feet together. Empty coat arms. Grab a block. Step wide again. Turn your toes forward or a little bit in, whichever one feels better in your hips. This has a lot to do with the shapes of your bones, things we can't change. Now, the block may not be for everyone, but you have it if you need it. Exhale, tilt your pelvis until it stops turning. That's the extent of your forward fold. Relax your shoulders, neck, and head toward the ground. Now, the block is either for your hands or, depending, for your forehead. Forward folds are the second signature pose for autumn. Inhale, lift the back of your head. Exhale, turn your toes out. Hinge or wave back up. And then step or hop back to center again. The next thing we're gonna do partially, a beginner's version. Bandha practice is a signature of late summer practice, and it sets us up for the stronger sun salutations and inversions of an autumn practice. The next thing that we're going to do is an application of the bandhas. We are going to start with practicing Uddiyana Bandha. Now, if you know the throat lock and you feel like practicing it today, you know all the contraindications and know that you don't have them, then great. You can make this into a full-blown Agnisara Kriya as we release and contract the front of the abdomen. I won't be teaching throat lock today. If you're interested in that, come to one of our yoga classes online or ask your favorite teacher. Step wide. You can do this with a narrow stance. I feel like it's easier to teach and for you to experience for the first time in a wide stance. The elevator is the pelvic floor lifting. If you're not sure how to do that, imagine bringing your tailbone forward toward this bone at the front of your pelvis. Beautiful. Draw the drawstring together as if your forward hip bones had like a sweatpants drawstring that you could only cinch from the inside. Elevator, drawstring, those go together. That's Mula Bandha. Now, zip up the gut side of your spine. This isn't a front zip. This is moving your attention back to that space in front of your spine and then waving up from the sacrum to the solar plexus. If you don't feel it already, that's okay. Bring your attention there. Create the movement that feels like it might be what I'm describing. You will be building the neural pathways and the strength. Inhale, release all of it. The release of the bandhas is just as important as the application. So I try to have him around because I hear a lot of people say they can't practice yoga at home because of their pets. I may let him out in a moment just because I suspect that this is distracting for people who aren't me. For now though, I'm going to talk us through this. We're going to inhale, arms up. Exhale, as you bend your knees, press your thighs away. Lift elevator drawstring zipper, lifting your low belly up and under your heart. Inhale, soften and release. So that is Uddiyana Kriya. You can do this with a narrow stance. You can do this in a seated position. We're going to do that one more time. Exhale, elevator drawstring zipper. Release before you feel like you have to. Exhale. Now, we are going to add in the element that with a throat lock makes this into Agnisara Kriya, a digestive fire tender. And it's simply doing what we just did and releasing and contracting the front of the abdomen. We're going to do this. I'm going to teach it without a throat lock right now. Inhale. Exhale. Elevator drawstring zipper. Brace. Release and contract the front of the abdomen. Inhale. All the way up. And exhale. Back to center. That is one of the signature postures of late summer that we will probably continue all the way through winter. For now, I'm going to invite you to step wide, rotate side to side. We are going to move into a seated forward fold, a signature practice for autumn. For 90+% of Western folks, sit on the edge of a blanket when you're doing any seated postures, particularly forward folds. If you're curious, you can ask it a comment and I'll answer later. We're going to practice a simple seated forward fold. I like to move the flesh away from the sitting bones And then again, remember when we were shifting over into a wide-legged standing forward fold, and when we were doing other things, we paid attention to the glide of the pelvis over the femurs. We're doing that again. Exhale, tilt your pelvis. When your pelvis stops tilting, that's your forward fold. Release the weight of your shoulders, neck, and head. If you didn't go very far forward, take your hands, put them behind the meat of your calves. This is going to create a micro bend in your knees, and it may, it's okay if it doesn't, allow your pelvis to tilt a little bit more. Inhale, lift the back of your head, hinge up. Bend one knee and bring it in. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, Janu Shirshasana. Head to knee pose. Inhale, lift up. On an exhale, apply the bandhas, elevator drawstring zipper as you hinge forward. Either grasp the back of the calf or take your big toe in yoga toe lock. This is the beginning of Maha Mudra, one of the signature practices of autumn practice. Inhale. It's a prana tending practice. Exhale back to Dandasana staff pose. Exhale. Bring the other foot in. Inhale, orient your heart to the big toe. Exhale, hinge the pelvis, lifting elevator drawstring zipper. Inhale up. Exhale, back to crossed legs. Bring your hands together behind your back, taking opposite forearms or elbows. Exhale, hinge forward. A late summer practice, Maha Yoga Mudra, Yoga Mudrasana. Inhale up, note which foot is in front, which arm's on bottom. Switch. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, hinge up, release. Exhale over to one side, gentle pressure into a twist. Inhale, side B, and exhale, gentle pressure. Inhale, center. Reverse the cross of your feet. Repeat that twist. Inhale. Exhale. Only what feels good. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, center. We're moving into the yin portion of our practice. We're going to begin with Python. This is a belly massage practice. It's a self-massage practice. And we're just going to do it in one location. It starts with Sphinx pose. And because we call it Python instead of Cobra, I call this the rabbit. You're going to take any blanket in the usual rectangle and you're going to fold its corners in on one another so that it's a chevron. And then you're just going to fold that in. This is going to go where the ribs come together. This will be helpful for the next couple of weeks while we're making this transition. Now, you can change the intensity by making that fold smaller or bigger. I suggest that you separate your feet, particularly if this feels at all crunchy in your low back. Notice the very active breathing, massaging the origin of your diaphragm on your lower front ribs. You can intensify this practice if you'd like by laying fully down. Don't do that at all if you've recently eaten anything large. If you want to, you could even put your elbows on the ground, cup your eyes. Just a few more breaths here. Continue to breathe here. When you're ready, plant your hands, shift your weight back to child's pose, and breathe. This is a version of a forward fold. Inhale, come up to sitting. We're going to insert 2 bandha application practices that are signature poses from first late summer and then autumn. One is called Lolasana. I'm going to show you a version that's accessible to, I think, to most people who are interested in this pose. Again, it's an application of the bandhas. You're going to take 2 yoga blocks. And if you're beginning with this, put them on the medium setting, kind of just a little bit ahead of your knees. We're gonna, with straight arms, we're gonna treat the shoulder girdle and arms like, almost like the structure of a swing set, and lift our pelvis up using elevator drawstring zipper. It's an application of Uddiyana Bandha. You remain breathing all the way through. We're gonna leave the feet on the ground, and that can assist you in feeling the bandhas, in feeling the muscles that lift up. Some of you will know that in a version with a lot of add-ons, you lift the feet up. If you feel like trying that, go for it. It's not necessary to get the benefits. Plant your hands. I like to bring my fingers over the front. It allows me to access a little bit more strength. On an exhale, you're going to shift your shoulders forward over the wrists. Lift elevator drawstring zipper. Whenever you're ready, before you think you have to, lower down. Stack left hand over right, thumbs almost touch. Dharana Mudra. That was Lolasana. The next one that we're going to practice is, again, of what I think a generally accessible version of peacock pose. The full pose is quite strenuous and not appropriate for everybody. This should be appropriate for everyone. We're going to start from a tabletop position. Inhale, dog. Exhale, moving from tail to head, cat pose. Inhale, moving from tail to head, dog. Exhale, cat. turn your fingers back and bring your shoulders or your wrists just under your heart. So your fingers may only go to here or to here, whatever works. Bring your hands close to one another. Now, if you have breasts that come away from your chest, that stick out from your chest, then you can either squish them between your upper arms or let your upper arms squish them. Yogi's choice. From here, we're going to hinge forward. You don't have to hinge a lot. Look forward. Inhale, release. Exhale, apply. Inhale, release. Exhale, apply. That's it. That's your beginner version for peacock pose, one of the signature poses of autumn that we'll be working with in classes. Our second yin pose. Take either your bolster or your blocks. You could even, if you have two blocks, stand them up like this, put your bolster over it. We're going to start in virasana, which is actually, virasana, sitting on your heels. There's a version called vajrasana and one's called virasana. Whatever one appeals to you, start from that. Sometimes a blanket behind the knee makes this accessible for more people. Now, if this is already feeling like a big stretch in your knees, if it's in your knees, you may want to put one of those blocks under your sitting bones. Now, you can walk your hands back. Supta Virasana. Some of you will feel like lowering yourself back all the way to the bolster. What you don't want is for your knees to come off the ground. It's too much stretch through the knees and across the fascia of the shins and ankles. We'll be here for about 20 breaths. This is one of the signature poses for fall. You can also do this one leg at a time. And remember, if this doesn't seem like a good idea to you, if it doesn't feel right for any reason, then simply sit on your heels or take a different pose and catch up to us soon. If your body has opened up a little bit more space anywhere, go ahead and just move into it. Remember, your body's language is sensation. And you respond with attention and movement. On an exhale, tuck your chin, hinge up. Set your knees wide, your toes together, and hinge back. This is our first restorative posture. You can use this same stack if you'd like. Or a single bolster, or two blocks with a blanket over it. And we're only going to stay a couple of minutes so that we have time for your personal practice planning. You can have your face turned to one side. I'll tell you when we're halfway through and you can switch to the other side. Or some of you will be comfortable with your forehead on the block, creating the space for you to breathe. We're halfway through, so if you had your head turned one way and it feels okay in your neck, turn your head the other way. This is likely to be the more challenging way. So moderate as feels right to you. Notice your spine moving in response to your breath. Inhale, bring your forehead down, and exhale, wave up. This next posture is in the practice for both late summer and autumn. And it's a favorite practice around our parts, Queen Pose, aka Supta Baddha Konasana. Put the soles of the feet together. Make as tall or as short a support as you would like. Take your blanket from blanket Tadasana to double rectangle. Make that into a roll. Place the roll over the arches of your feet. Tuck the ends in under your shin bones. Center yourself in front of your blanket stack. And recline back. This is a posture where it really pays off to fuss with your setup. The difference between yin yoga and restorative yoga is that in yin yoga, we're really looking for an edge of sensation, of either stretch or twist or compression that's obviously safe, but also that might be a little bit challenging. And then the practice is about softening into whatever you're feeling. It's a very meditative practice. In restorative practice, we're really looking for pure letting go. So feel free to Goldilocks your setup. Ideally, your elbows are on the ground. Now, if you're watching the replay of this, you can press pause anytime and stay longer. We're going to be moving on shortly after a mudra and a breath. The mudra is Yani mudra. You're going to take your peace fingers Gently place them on your eyes with your eyelids closed. Ring fingers come to the corners of the nostril and the pinky fingers come to the edges of the mouth, the corners of the mouth. Your thumbs push the tragus, that's that little cartilaginous flap in front of your ear canal, back over the ear canal in just a moment. And you're going to add in bumblebee breath, Brahmari breath. Simply hum as you exhale. Close the tragus and hum 3 times. Rest in the new quality of the silence after bumblebee breath. We're moving toward Shavasana now. Close one knee over the other knee and roll over to one side. In the fetal position, breathe so you feel it in your back. And then move your props off. And so let me say this is your Shavasana. If you really just want to stay in Queen's pose, that's okay. I want to make sure though that you somehow counter that after this is done. That'll become clear in the workshop part. If you'd like, hug your knees in. This is Apanasana. Open your arms, lower the knees to one side and look away. Horse breath. This is a vagus nerve trigger, invoking your parasympathetic or your rest and digest nervous system. Inhale, center. Exhale, side B. Inhale, center. And exhale. Your final resting pose, whatever that feels or looks like for you today, could look like a traditional Shavasana, legs up the wall, roll on one side. You might even want to sit. Find what feels right for you. Allow the sound of my voice to fall away anytime. Start to release all effort of breathing. Stick your tongue out. Wag it from side to side. Sigh audibly a few times. Make noise. Allow whatever effort has built up over practice to get released through sound, through imagination. Imagine that each and every exhale brings a new wave of relaxation through your body. Every exhale, a new wave of relaxation. It might almost start to feel as if you're being breathed. Having released all effort of breathing, let your body know but your practice was perfect. Every pose, every breath, the right resolution of forces for its moment. Let your muscles know that it's okay to let go of your bones. And having released muscular effort, release all effort of breathing. Release all effort of being. For these few moments, there's nowhere to go. There's no one to be. There's no then, and there's no coming. There is only this. You might imagine that you've gone to a spa where they have a mud bath, like at Ojo Caliente here in New Mexico. And you've waded into the mud with the dazzling mica and the drawing clay. And now you're laying by the mud pool, under the sun, feeling the mud start to dry. You can almost feel it starting to draw heat and anything you no longer need from you. And almost like time lapse, it dries and cracks and starts being blown away in the wind, leaving you refreshed, renewed, cradled by the earth, blanketed by the sky, enlivened by the breath, illuminated by the sun and the moon. Entertain that you are the clear light of awareness, where mud and water, breath and light meet. Rest here. Listen for the beating of your own heart. Smile with the back of your mouth, lifting the soft palate as we do in Ujjayi. Try to feel all over your skin at once. Feel your breath in your nostrils. Circle your eyes behind your eyelids. As you're ready, move and stretch. Roll to one side. Breathe so you feel it in your back. When you're ready, spiral up to a comfortable seat. Feel your sitting bones on the ground. Feel your shoulders stacked over your hips, your head stacked over your shoulders. We're going to move into a short round of pranayama, or breathing practice. The first breath practice we're going to use is new for autumn. Kapalabhati, called skull shining breath. We're going to use the elevator and drawstring to lift up and help to clear more of the lungs than we might on a regular exhale. One way, so if you're just learning it, bring your hands over your low belly and feel the front of your abdominal wall retract and lift up as you poof the breath out your nose. Notice that the inhale doesn't make a sound because it's passive. When you relax this, the diaphragm drops and breath is literally just drawn into your body. So it's an active exhale with a passive inhale. We're just going to do 10 of these right now. On the final one, pause with the breath out. Notice that you can remain here. Relax the belly and allow the breath back in. That's a warming breath. It's also a breath that helps us to clear things we're ready to let go of. We're going to follow that with some cooling breaths. These were appropriate for late summer. They remain appropriate in autumn when we're releasing built up heat and aggravated prana, or aggravated pitta. First one, I'm going to teach Shitkari, called radiator breath. Bring your teeth lightly together. Inhale over your tongue and exhale through your mouth or in an extended sigh. You can also imagine a radiator across the front of your forehead, drawing this breeze over the prefrontal cortex, the part of our brain that sometimes overheats, thinking it's in charge. Return to natural breathing. Bring your right thumb to your right nostril. It'll look different on the camera because it's mirrored. Right thumb, right nostril.
Keep your nose midline, your shoulder and arm relaxed. And just a few times, inhale and exhale through your left nostril, Chandra Vedana. Lower your hand and just feel what it feels like to breathe through both nostrils naturally now. As if those two have been cooling breaths. We're now going to move into meditation. Tritaka is the signature meditation, both from late summer, and it's the one that moves with us into autumn. It's usually done on a candle flame. You can use any object though, or you could even use like an irregularity in your mat or the floor in front of you. Anything that you could rest your gaze on. Now, the way I said that was very intentional. We're not attaching our gaze. It's a very relaxed gaze. It's almost like your gaze is a thing and you could rest it there. Take Dharana Mudra, left hand over right, thumbs almost touch. This is held right in front of the navel. We're just going to be here for a minute. During this minute, let your waters settle and become clear. It's okay if your brain brains, they do that. Thoughts, stories, they can happen without us getting caught up or stuck in them. Keep coming back to whatever you've rested your gaze on. If it helps, imagine every exhale brings a new wave of relaxation. If you'd like, join me for Om. Happy Yoga Day. Thank you for practicing. Thank you for your practice.